Hello, everybody. How are we today? Welcome to Authentic Priestess Circle, and my guest today is Katy-K, who is an incredible psychic and also a writer, and she has created her own deck of cards, the Modern Oracle, and so much more. So I would like to welcome Katy today. Oh, firstly, apologies about the time mess up. I'm in Canberra, she's in Queensland. So here we are, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Rose.
You're welcome. So really happy to have you here. And oh yes, the Modern Oracle. So we will be working with the Modern Oracle, but first I'm going to ask Katy how she became who she is and as a psychic, and also how the Modern Oracle was born.
Well, as a psychic, I was actually born psychic, and I shut it down due to, I had a stepfather that was a wonderful man, but he was not of this ilk. He was very much a man of science, and my mother's psychic, and her grandmother is psychic on her father's side, and her mother was psychic. And then my father's side, they're all psychics as well, and mediums. And so I closed it down after my stepdad got really angry and said, oh, you're such a bleak know-it-all, and will you shut up? But he was in anger, because it's really difficult when you've got a young child telling you everything. Don't do this, Dad, don't do this, this is going to happen. And I didn't really reawaken it until I got married. And therefore, the problem was my husband's a policeman at that stage, and he very much wasn't of that world either. And so I hid it, and he really didn't find out until a few months after we were married. And we'd been together 6 years, and I've not said anything. But it gets to a stage where you can't hold it back. It just keeps coming. And you get that feeling, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And certain incidences happened, which I've all put in my book, that made me want to go and get formal training, because I didn't understand what was happening. I had this gift and I wanted to control it. I'm that type A personality, I suppose. And so I wanted to know how I could just turn it on when I want to, and how to manage it, how to handle it. And I was already doing readings for a few years, and then I had a sign to go to the Art College. I actually was looking for a particular book, and a book fell off my bookshelf open, and the page was about how this author was going off to the Art College, and I thought, well, that's where I wanted to go. So progressed from there. I went professional probably 20 years ago, maybe. And I've been doing readings nonstop, travel the world. I've got a following in Hawaii and the States and the UK. And people in, the world of social media, people just keep popping up. So it's really good. It was a real surprise to be on the magazine, the International Psychic Association magazine. That was lovely. I didn't expect that. And then after I'd done a lot of training, I had this idea to put my own deck together, because I was finding the ones I had were not what I wanted. And when I read, I just channel. It just comes in and goes out. And 5 minutes when I'm finished, I don't remember anything. Wow. And at the end, sometimes you'll get this client that wants to see cards. They like it when you throw them out. And I also felt that I couldn't be objective if I was reading for my family. If I went to my sister and said, oh, are you pregnant? I think you're pregnant. And she'd say, did Mum tell you? And I'd say, no, Mum didn't tell me. But if I threw out a card that said she was pregnant, she would believe it.
Yes.
Because we're too close. And if I wanted guidance, if they told me something negative was going to happen, I'd say, no, I must have got it wrong. And I'd ask again, and I'd keep asking. So with the cards, I could then read for myself, and I could read for my family. And I developed them over 5 years. It took 5 years to get them out. And I sold 1,000 decks in about 14 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that on my own. I didn't have a distributor. I didn't have a publisher. I just sold them. I went to expos and everywhere. And then 3 years later, because this is the first deck, the Modern Oracle, and the second deck came out 3 years after that, the Modern Oracle of Essential Oils. And both decks can work in together. So both decks have 53 cards. I put them in flash boxes, so they cost more to put. And I only ordered my first batch was 1,000 decks because my husband had made a comment about, well, what if they don't sell? We're going to have them everywhere. And then I ordered 5,000 after that. And then when I got these, that same thing came up. You know, maybe you're going to a limited market here. So I only got 3,000. And I'm really glad that I did because we got into COVID and it's not as easy to deal with China at the moment. And also the more decks you buy, the cheaper it becomes.
Yeah.
So
they're beautiful. They really are. I don't have the oil ones, but I have this one. And look at mine. Mine has got, I don't know if you can see it. I signed it. Box in 2017 when we actually met at an expo.
Yeah, they came out in 2015.
Yeah.
And and this one came out probably 2019, last year in February. So I always launch them on my birthday, which is Valentine's Day.
And they really do work. And it was really interesting as I got the times mixed up, but then I came on and I started shuffling them and one just flew out, and it was, you know, we talked about that, which was a really interesting card that I got for myself, which it was very, the cards speak in a really authentic and beautiful way, and I feel that with oracles because, and especially yours, because they are so the way that you've created them and the way you've made them and the way you actually read with them is a very, very special way. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone. We have 4 people on at the moment. We've got Elisa, Lila. I'm not sure who else is there, but please say hello because we will have some cards for you soon. But I'm just sort of moving around here because I've got my mobile because I can read it better on that than I can on the main computer. Doesn't seem to work as well on the main computer. But yeah, so the oil ones, how do they tell us a little bit about them?
Well, when I did the Modern Oracle, I'm a very black and white person, and I wanted down to earth cards that dealt with what we're dealing with right now. So I had cards about travel, cards about relationships, about health, about finances and income, and all these different subjects that come up in a reading. But, you know, some people hand out cards when they're at expos, but I've got all the cards that, like this one here, if that's handed out, it's really confronting. And the same with that one. But we have good and bad happening in our lives. Life's not just a bunch of a bowl of cherries. And see this here, there's a worry guilt card. And so if I'm handing those out, it can be confronting and not the best. So what I did is I've made a match for every card in the Modern Oracle in the Essential Oil deck.
Oh, so they connect together.
They connect. There is matching cards.
Wow.
So you can work with both decks, or you can work with them singly. And so when I made the second deck, because you'll notice the first deck has got 3 lines up the top. Generally, most of them have that. And the idea is one card is a word and more cards will make a sentence. So the only time you'd put out one card is if you're looking for a yes and no answer. And sometimes you can get guidance as well. But, you know, I do have a yes and no card in there. And I do have, as you stated, travel cards.
Yes.
And that's a health card of exercise. But if it came up about someone asking about their job, it would say you need to get more motivated. Or if they say, will they get the job, it's coming in quickly.
Oh, beautiful.
So you can do different messages. So then when I did the essential oil card, I had in mind I needed images that would not be so confronting. But the message is still there, but it's in a gentler way.
Beautiful.
So when I did them, see, they've got chakra colors. Yes. So you can ask, which chakra am I working with? Which one is
so
me?
it's all connected. Beautiful.
Yeah. But there's 7 ways you can work with this. Then you've got the 3 words, and you can join them up with the other deck, or you can just read like you do with the other deck and join all the words up to make a story. You've got the image, and you can see there's some things that have pods that aren't included. And also there's things like there's spoons in there, but if there's something like that, that's about natural medicine if you're looking at the image.
Okay.
Because it's really big. You'd never take that much of conventional medicine.
Yeah, I love them because they're so different.
Yeah. And then you have the actual message written out. And you can join all the messages on this deck to make a whole story as well and to answer questions. And then I've got the affirmation there. So you can just ask for an affirmation as well as a message of guidance. And then I've got the numerology number down the bottom.
Ah, I like that. You know,
so seven messages. And then there's the book that has about the numerology, and I'm really into the law of attraction, so I put the conventional meanings in.
Yes.
And then I put the law of attraction meaning.
Beautiful.
And then when you get a card, say it's cardamom, like that one was, you go into the book and you look up cardamom, and they're in alphabetical order. So they're easy to find, and it has all the benefits of that oil.
The oil in there. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but I can't say that cure things because I've got a big American market, and if I say that they will cure that, you're not allowed to in the States. So I can't say that eucalyptus is great for repelling rats. I can't say that blue tansy will get rid of your cockroaches. There's certain things you can't make claims.
No, you can't.
So what I did was I went and put dictionary terms in because I can quote the dictionary. And so with cardamom itself, it's anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antioxidant, antiseptic, for occasional nausea, aids in respiratory health, calming and relaxing, assists with gastrointestinal health, and enhances food flavor. So I put 10 of the benefits, but there's way more. And there's some you just can't say. Like bergamot is great when you got cholesterol, but I can't put that. So I put supports cardiovascular health.
Okay.
And so then if you look up what an analgesic is, you can go to the beginning of the book, and I have all the meanings. So when I look up analgesic, if I can find it.
Analgesic. While you have a look, I'll just say hello to everybody. So we have Lila, hello. Alison, hello. Rebecca, hello. Ali, hello. And we have a few other people that I can't see. If you can put your name up. And also, can you let us know where you're from? Are you from Australia? Are you from somewhere else? Or which country or which town? Let us know. And soon we will actually pick a card. I've actually picked a card, and I'm going to get Katie to tell me about my card, which is a very unusual card after my sorry card. So welcome, everyone. So happy you're all here. Thank you. And if you would like a card, please let us know as well and where you're from. And actually, let's pick a word. What word can we use for today? Choose a word.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to let the cards choose a word.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
So the word is study.
Study. Okay. Anybody that would like a card pulled, please put in study.
So what card did you choose?
Oh, well, the one that fell out, but then I shuffled, and it's really interesting. The one I got is, can you see it?
No, I know which one. I got a glimpse.
It's the overseas cruising along, taking your time, which I meant to be coming back from Morocco now, but I didn't end up there. So it's
Okay,
the
so
one with
that
the
card has a lot of meanings. It's a travel
timing
card, but depending on what question you ask, it says that right now you're just cruising along. You're just taking your time. And if someone asked about something, you would say, well, you need to just cruise along right now. Take your time with this. But if you look at this card, you can see all that water, and that's about emotions. And it's calm water. It's not stormy water. And within the image as well, depending on where you're drawn to, there are meanings. But this ship looks to be in a safe harbour.
It does.
So it would talk about that. If you asked a question and pulled several cards, so I'm just going to knock on the Modern Oracle and I'll say, this is for my son, John. And I'll ask, what does he need to know about getting his next single out, because he's a musician? And then I'll pull 3 cards, and I don't look, I just flick them with my finger until it stops. And then I get 3 cards, right? And if I pull a negative card out, I need to pull another one on top, because you just don't leave your client with, oh, okay, this is crap, you go now. You've got to say, if there's a negative card, how do we turn that negative into a positive? So I pulled 3 cards, and the first card I pulled was this one, and it says he needs to trust more, and this is a golden opportunity for him. See how it's been handed, this golden ball there? And it's saying that he's got to trust how he feels. The second card says, but he worries too much. And he worries because he doesn't trust, and he's worried about this opportunity. And the third card says there are challenges and delays. Well, COVID's one of the biggest ones. So now I'm going to pull a card and say, well, what do I need to do about the worry? And it says, don't worry, it's going to be a success. It'll be fine. And so then I'll say, and what do I need to know about the challenge? And it says, you will finish it. You're on track to finishing.
I love that. I love the way you
See how it just flows?
work them. They're beautiful.
Yeah. So you can't be scared of the negatives. It's telling you about the client. It's telling you if they are worried, if they are battling, if they have a decision to make, if there's a man involved, if there is things are going to turn out better with good luck, to manifest something, to take charge and control. You can't just let this all happen and fall apart around you. You've got to actually take control. There's people cards. This is about the family, and this family card can also be about having support from someone and comfort. So there's different ways of doing it. This card's very confronting, but really it's saying you're overwhelmed. Your heart's being pulled in many different ways, in many pieces. And unless we are talking about someone that is sad, and if you get a card like this, if the cards are negative both sides, then it's just saying, you know, there's a bit of sadness around you, or it could be depression if we're talking about their health. But if it's negative cards around it, there is a lot, there's grief. And about whatever it is, it might be about a loss of a business or a family member or a close friend. So we have to deal with all parts of life. And I always say, if you don't want to know, don't ask. I've even added a Australian flavour. There's the koalas. And that one there, if we're talking romance and someone says, you know, am I going to find someone? I'll say, yes, but he's going to be a stage 5 Klingon. So if you're happy with someone clinging to you all the time, go ahead. And if it's asking about family, there's the mother and child.
I love it.
And if it's asking about, should I buy the house? It says you'll be safe. If it asks about, should I change jobs? It's saying stay put. Now, even though it says, if you ask a travel question, you never ever say stay put. You don't dictate to them what they do about their travel. That says you are safe. So you'll be safe on your travels.
I like that.
So many meanings according to what the subject is.
Yeah, well, I love that, because some of the things that you've said I really, really like, and they do resonate with me as well. So it's very, very poignant. And Catherine Boyer, hello, and she said, I love the way you use the cards, Katie.
Oh, thank you so much. I forgot to tell you, I'm working on a book right now, and that book goes through the story of my shutdown to when I reawakened and what happened. But also I have a book this thick of lessons that I teach my students, and I've wove the lessons in amongst it. So I've got stories about animal communication, and it even tells you how to do animal communication. I'm the modern oracle, and I'm about making things easy for you, not making them hard. I studied the tarot for 20 years, and at the end of it, I still didn't think I knew enough. But
I feel that way with the tarot.
Yeah, this is so easy, and it will tell you, and it is accurate. But also you have to be aware of how you ask the question. So this book goes through, and it actually goes from if you are just starting right down to doing a reading, but it also has guidance for those that are already there. Because one of the things I had was my gift was so natural, it just came, and it would just happen, and I didn't know how to turn it on though. But if someone asked me, it would come out. And then it went to developing it more so someone else might relate to that, and assuring people that you don't have to be born a psychic. A lot of psychics actually develop in their 40s onwards when they don't have the pressure of their children around.
Yeah, that like how you said earlier that you avoided. I've lost your voice. Your voice is gone, Katie.
I'm here now. I'm here.
Good. Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm trying to recall what you said.
Okay.
So what did I say I avoided?
Oh, when you said when you were younger and that you actually avoided in around your stepfather and whatever happened there.
Yeah,
I can relate to that because, we all have our gifts, and I've had it too, and my mother had it. But it was like, oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But now it's just it's like, it's here, it's here, it's here. You need to embrace it. And once you take the path, there is no going back. And I think the beautiful part is the individuality and the authenticity, how each of us bring it through. And you have that as well. And I just love that about you. And yeah.
Thank you. I'm actually thought that being shut down as a child was a blessing, because otherwise I would have been seen as the weirdo at school. Everyone wasn't as open to it to psychics as they are now. They were actually scared of them. And those people are still around there. I know if we go to a party and someone recognizes me, goes, oh, you're Katy-K, you're the psychic, the medium. And they'll go, is there anyone around here now? Or they'll say something else. And all the cheating husbands will hear psychic, and they all disappear. They're gone instantly because they're scared they're going to be exposed, because they have that fear. But I teach my students, you don't look unless you ask to look. Because looking, it's like going through someone's underwear drawer and you don't know what you're going to find, because it's personal stuff. And so I teach them when I've made mistakes, how I've learned to do it differently or what's happened. I teach them the rules so they don't have to make mistakes. And yes, there is rules. You don't become a party trick. You're not an ATM. No. Because if you are an ATM and you're just giving out all the time, your energy drains. Everything is energy. Right. And everything's intention. So I go through the book on that, how to program a crystal, just little things that I thought that I wanted to know, because I didn't know how to ground and clear and protect myself.
Yes. And so this book is coming out soon? Yes.
Yes. Probably finished by the end of the year. And I would have liked to have had it done before Christmas. I'll see how it goes. And if not, it'll be released on my birthday like the other two have been, which is Valentine's Day.
February 14.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be out pretty soon. And a lot of people that have read the preface have said, oh, can I get a copy now? And I say, not right now. It's not even finished, but I'm getting there.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things coming, and my second book is called The Modern Oracle, My Crazy Psychic Life. And it has lots of incidences of things that happen that my husband says is not normal. And, you know, we put up with them, or he puts up with them all the time. Anywhere that's haunted, if we go to stay, we get haunted.
And you will come back, and actually I wanted to let everyone know that Katie will come on and do some lives monthly, hopefully. And yes, when her book is out, we'll have her book launch, and we'll most probably be launching both our books at the same time, I think.
So your book sounds pretty good. I'm really impressed. It's great that you've done that. But yours is finished, isn't it?
Well, it is finished, but it still needs to be printed and all that. And I was hoping before Christmas, but I think it's going to be like end of January, will be around the same time, I think. It's coming.
So. We might end up launching.
I'm okay with that decision now, because it's just about there, but I needed to go, okay, whatever the universe has in store is what is meant to be.
It's important not to rush, because once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
And that's why it took me 5 years to do this, perfecting it. I actually practiced with this deck of cards. I had them on little white cards, like business cards.
Yes.
And I would channel them. Each day I'd channel a card. And then I went to Thailand with my sister, and every time she was with me, she said, can you get those cards out and you know, do a reading for me? And then she said, you need to get images, because it was just white cards with scribble on. I said, I know. I said, I'm going to get the images while I'm here. And we went to the big Buddha. And it's a huge Buddha in Thailand.
Yes.
Every time I go to Phuket, I go and get a blessing from the monks there. And the energy is amazing. It's just so pure and beautiful.
Yeah.
And I got the blessing, and as I walked out, the images started coming through my head. And I was getting the cards and writing them down, what the image was going to be as I'm walking. And Jules says, what are you doing? We've got to go and get on the bus. And I said, I'm getting the images. And from that point, by the time I left Phuket, every card had an image, and then I just had to go and find them.
That's lovely. I've lost you again.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Excellent.
I'm trying not to talk over you, so I'm just listening for when you talk.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a lot involved, and my sister's very much into essential oils, and people that use and sell essential oils or sign people up, they love this deck because it's all about essential oils, and they use it as a tool to sell essential oils too. My sister goes to the markets and she says, oh, you know, pull a card to see which essential oil will benefit you. And then they'll look in the little book and they'll find out what the benefits are. And the person always says, yes, I need some of that. So she'll then mix up a rollerball for a sample to see if they like it, and they take it away and they work with it to heal with it. And she can also say, oh, I want a message of guidance. So if I was to knock my energy in and knock the previous person's out, and that's how you do it to set intention, and I'll say a message of guidance for me today. And I'll just pull one card out, and my message is actually written on the card. And it is especially pertinent because it says, this is it here. It's rosemary, and it's about mental clarity. That's what you need when you're writing a book. Knowledge and experience. That's what's going into the book. This is a good time for learning and taking on additional studies. Enjoy a good book or learn a new skill, a time of transition. My affirmation is I'm intelligent and I enjoy learning new things. So
do you know rosemary, the plant rosemary also represents that the woman is in charge in the household?
Well, I'm working on that.
I thought that was a good one. Anyway,
that is a good one. So this matches with the study card that I brought up before.
Yes.
And the study card has a book on it. So that's how I knew how that was. You can see the book.
Yes.
And it says study, focus, analyze, check the fine print. And this one is mental clarity, knowledge, and experience. So when you get two cards that match, that's the universe yelling out, this is really important. I can't tell you enough. You need to put emphasis on this message.
Okay.
And that's what it is. It's about the books. And that's how you know they're matched too, because it mentions a book. I love that. And there's the books.
Okay. Do you want to do some for, I've got a few that have asked to have a reading. So I've got, yes. Okay, I'll go to the top. So Alison Worthy, she said hello, and she said also she put in studies. So I'm not sure what the question is, but maybe do a general reading for her.
Once a month, I do a Facebook Live where I do free readings. And the people that come on, if they just say hello, then I pull a card of guidance. But if they actually ask a question, I will answer it with this deck.
Okay.
So has she asked a question, or she just wants a card of guidance?
No, because we just put in remember study if they wanted a card pulled as just as a message. But if I do get any questions, I will let you know.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card of guidance from the Modern Oracle of
That'll be nice.
And I'm going to knock her energy in. So her name was Alison.
Yes.
This is for Alison. I'm going to pull a card for Alison.
It's spelled quite uniquely. It's ALISSAN. So Alison. Alison.
Oh, beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Alison, and we're getting, two came out. This is very interesting. We got geranium, which is about loving, trusting, and tolerant. And we got Douglas fir and Siberian fir, which is wisdom, respect, and healthy connections. This one actually matches the family card. And this matches the love card. So I'm going to put them together. It says, messages are nurture and love those in your life, hug those you love, and guide them with grace and ease. And family time is needed right now. Love and nurture your family, offer comfort and support. Sometimes quality is better than quantity. Now, the word love is all over both those cards. And there's no other cards that have love. And she's brought up love. And so that's very significant for you, Alison, to notice that. If you wanted to work with one of the oils, that's what you would do. Now, if I look at the numbers, I've got the number 19, you add 1 and 9 together, and that's a 10. And I've got the number 15, so 1 and 5 is 6. So that comes down to a 7 because we've added the 1 from the 10 and the 6 from the 15. So now I'll pull up the meanings of 7, which I know, but I want to show you how to use the book. And it says here, spirituality, reevaluation, trust, intuition, and manifestation. So it's saying you also need to get in touch with your spirituality and know that you can do that and you can manifest. But the law of attraction is prepare for a spiritual awakening. So both very much, we've got spirituality here and about developing your spirituality, Alison. So I love that. That's a really good message. Who have we got next?
We have Catherine Boyer. She actually has a question, and her question is, she is looking, she would like some guidance and direction in her business. She's going through changes and like some clarity on it.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is for Catherine Boyer. I'm shuffling the Modern Oracle deck. And I'm going to pull 3 cards. That one. That one. And that one. So as you can see, these 3 cards, I have timings down the bottom. And there's a timing card there. So it's saying it's all about timing right now. This card here is an opportunity card. See, you're being held something. And it's saying you need to think outside the box with your business. I'm actually feeling you need to bring something new in and change the way you do it all. And see, this is the surprise card too, because all the paint's exploding out of that box, which was bare, but you don't know what colors it's going to make when it lands. And also see that sleeve, it's bare as well. There's nothing on it. So this card says within your business, you need to think outside the box, bring in some new ideas, innovate, and be creative with it. And you're going to have to do it quickly. You're going to have to motivate yourself more because there's been some disappointments and you need to get busy with doing this. and it will take time, but you will get there if you do make some changes. You're going to have to adapt in this period of time. And I also feel there's something around your business. It could be a person, but they haven't got the business best interest at heart. So just take that. I think I've given you plenty of guidance there. And it says you can get it on top of it if you bring in something new and really focus on it and move quickly. See how that person's moving so quickly that they're evaporating. It will take time, but she will get there.
Beautiful. Thank you, Catherine, and lovely to see you in Authentic Priestess Circle. And our next one is Rebecca. Rebecca, she hasn't I think it's just the general one for Rebecca.
So for Rebecca, we're going to knock her energy in, and Catherine's out, and we're asking for a card of guidance for Rebecca. You're going to love this card. It's Cassia and Cinnamon Bark. This is one of the cards that has a hidden heart in it. You'll see that in the top there. And this card says, success is imminent for you. You are winning and will surely reap the rewards. Keep moving forward. Your affirmation that you can say 3 times is, I am a winner and I'm winning. Everything I do is successful. It's about being confident now, you're attractive, and knowing that you are valuable. And this is how you're going to move towards this success that's coming. The number 8, as I go to the book, is a sign of success when we look at the law of attraction. And you know, the interesting thing is when I developed these cards, I numbered them in alphabetical order. There was no way I could have matched this success card up with the meaning of number 8 because it was in alphabetical order. So that was a fluke. 8 is about power, money, expanding, abundance, and controlling. But yes, success is coming with something that you're doing right now.
Beautiful.
What next?
Okay, so we've got Ali next. Ali also, she said hello, but she hasn't said what. So a general card for Ali, please.
This is for Ali.
Yes.
Knock your energy in. This is Ali. What does Ali need to know right now for her highest good? Well, this one come out. Lemongrass. Now, lemongrass tea is very cleansing. It's actually a diuretic. And this card is about cleansing, release, and simplifying things in your life right now. Go back to basics. It's spring clean time, an opportunity, an optimum time to get your house and life in order, and it actually happens to be spring. Look to get more organized. Your affirmation is, I release all that no longer serves me and I allow positive new things into my life. If you look at that image, see everything's bundled up, but there's one twig there or leaf of lemongrass that's not included. So that image talks to you about getting yourself in order, getting organized, because there's still work to do. There's still things to happen. And release what you don't want anymore. There's the unwanted piece of lemongrass.
Mm-hmm.
So a cleansing time for you. Spring clean. And it is a good time for it to happen too.
Mm-hmm.
Who have we got next?
We have, not sure, but I think, not sure if they're still here or not. So I'll just put up for Lila, pull a card for Lila. Lila is the amazing illustrator in my children's book. And
that's fantastic.
Also, my co-partner in crime on this group. So
your co-partner in creativity.
Yes, creativity.
All right, Layla, this is for you. The message. I'm going to pull one from the Modern Oracle as well. Okay, so we got Copaiba, and it's about being resilient, be strong, emotional strength, and friendships. Your information is watch out for conflict and strife. Someone is pushing your buttons and it could easily get out of hand. No need to take on any new battles. Discernment is needed. And that's especially important while we're going through this Mercury in retrograde, because communication is really important. Your affirmation is, I handle all situations with grace and ease. I have peace in my life. And the number 4 that's come up is about stability. And it's also about taking a leap of faith, building stability and structure. The second card I pulled up is loose ends. And so it's saying you need to tie up any loose ends around. And this sorting this one out is leading you to tie up loose ends as well. So if, just for example, if we were talking about someone's health, this is the getting your tubes tied or the vasectomy card, because that's if you're talking about health. But if you were talking about relationships, it's saying this, you need something to bring you together. Just teaching you that card while we go. And remember I told you about spoons? If this was a health question, which she hasn't asked, that means conventional medicine, because it's a small spoon, not a big shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Who have we got? And I hope that sits well with you and you understand it. Who have we got next?
Okay, there is one other, but I'm not sure if they're still here, but I've lost their name now.
We'll just go to the ones you can see, and anyone that has left can watch the replay.
Okay, so, okay, where are we? Hideko. Thank you. Yes, that's Japanese, I think. Yes.
Okay, I hope we get it right.
If you're new, just let me know you're on, and if you could just send the message. Thank you.
So we're asking for a message of guidance for our highest good. And we got lemon or lime. And that's about re-energizing focus and being alert. If we're looking at the picture, there's segments in your life. But it says, hurry up, stop procrastinating, focus on what you desire. It's the right time now. And your affirmation is, I'm motivated to achieve all my goals in a timely manner. We've got 26 there, which is 8. And as I mentioned before, that is the success number, the power, the money number. And so what this is saying is you need to just focus and be alert right now and re-energize yourself and get ready to move. You can't hold back anymore. Thank you for joining us today. Who have we got next?
Well, I think that's all now, unless the 6th person has come on or it was Hideko. I suppose you could do one for me if you like.
I will.
Okay, so my question is, what is my question? It's more of a general question, and also how is my path opening up with all my projects that I'm putting out, and that includes my book.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is for Rose. And Rose, we need to know, what does Rose need to know about her path moving forward for all her creations that she is making?
Creation.
I'm pulling 3 cards. Okay, so the first card I got is you need to do more on the internet and communicate more about your book. See, this is the my communication card, but it's also anything like emails and putting your finger. You got to get your finger on the pulse to get this out, because it might be a little bit of a battle. Now, it's got 2 good cards coming out beside it. So if it's had negative cards around it, it would talk about quarrels and strife. But this with 2 positive cards around is talking about conflict of interest. So for me, I might need to be in Perth, but there's a wedding on in Melbourne. So, you know, making a choice, conflicting things. You might want to put your book out, but you've got something else you need to do first. So it's asking you to get more on the internet and Facebook and social media, advertising your projects, and do more on social media. And when I pulled another card to make this one become positive, the conflict says you need to stand your ground and do what you want to do. Don't be so easily swayed to fit in or follow someone else in case you might upset them. So to me, that can be, I know while I'm writing my book, my husband keeps interrupting all the time. Oh, have a look at this joke. And then you lose your train because I'm channeling, and I go, oh, and I realize he's starting to feel a bit neglected because he's just got my attention all the time. Yes. So, you know, I've had to dig my heels in and say, hey, I've got this 3-day literature retreat coming up, the virtual one. Can I just have that space on my own for that time? And he says, I'll go and visit my mother then. And I went, great. So, but that's what it's saying to you. It's it's the right time now for you to be doing your book. And it says, just make sure you're advertising, and it may conflict because I feel like there's another project that you've got that you want to do as well. And if you do them both at the same time, your book will be overshadowed. So that's the conflict. You're going to have to choose between one or the other. But your book, you need to drive it by advertising it now and maybe giving them a look at your cover to show how it's coming out, and say, you know, wait for it, it's coming. And this card here is also, if you look at the tiger, water is emotions, and someone's got the upper paw, so the upper hand here. So that's why you need to keep the upper hand and make sure that you're in control of this situation. Be strong, stand your ground, and get it done the way you want it to be done. But the alarm clock is ringing, it's time. And when the alarm clock rings, what do? You take action, you move. Otherwise it rings forever until the battery runs out. So,
I love that. Thank you. That is
very
so
welcome.
Poignant again.
And Rose, I'm going to pull another card from the other deck now to add to it. We're going to say, what else does Rose need to know for her highest good right now around her creativity and projects she has coming up and her book?
Drive Tish for now.
Oh, this is very appropriate. This is turmeric. And it says,
I love turmeric.
Yeah, well, that's it. If we'd said which oil is for her highest good, you would be using turmeric. But it's calming, grounding, and uplifting. And it says, find time to recharge your batteries, get away from it all and have a rest, make some holiday plans, walk along the beach if you can. Your affirmation is, I love and nurture my mind, body, and spirit, and I take out time to recharge.
Lovely. I'm going away sometime soon.
Yeah, it's saying you're doing all this, but if you recharge, even more is going to come through, possibly even while you're away. So taking out time for you. And see, this is what I call a shovel, not a spoon. So that's talking about natural medicine, organic.
Okay, natural, yes.
And you can go right into it. You know, you've got powder there, and you've got the rhizomes, I think they're called, like ginger and turmeric. But it's saying this retreat is just to ground yourself again, get calm and uplifted. And then it can all flow.
I love that. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for having me on today.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's been absolute pleasure. I just love you, and I love when we met, and we've got a beautiful connection, and you also love Aura Soma.
I love Aura Soma. I've got it all around my house. I just dug up some of the bottles to show you before while we were together. And this is the bottle I'm working with right now, and I'm loving it. Number 58.
58, which
and
is...
you can see the colours, and you can tell us about 58.
58 is
I don't expect you to
Orion
remember.
and Angelique. Yes. Oh my God, you have got a few. I remember when you came and were looking for me and said, "Where are you? Where is this woman?" You know, because I keep disappearing from my stand at the expo, and that's Orion and Angelique. The blue
and the pink.
On pink, which is it's the two archangels out in the sky, and one closes, she is the dawn, and the other one opens the day. But it's about communication, and it's about love, and it's also about transformation. It's a very incredible bottle because it shades to violet.
And you know, and that's really good, because right now communication is important for me.
Yes.
With
And that sits on the top, which is, yeah, your communication is your number one at the moment. Yes.
And doing what I love.
Yes, yes.
So I'm doing what I love. And so I put this on before I write each day.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good that I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And I love the smell. Oh my gosh.
It's a beautiful, it's also wonderful for travel, but I think you have, because Orion and Angelique also help with, like can help with morning sickness, and it can also help with travel, like travel sickness, and also protection for travel as well.
That is wonderful. The other thing I love about them is it doesn't matter how old they are, and I've got some bottles that go back probably 18 years or more, they don't go off because they're so natural and they smell beautiful. They're just great. I learned that when you have a bottle and things settle, that means the bottle is working on you and drawing out what it needs to. And
yes.
And I love that because this one actually is doing that. There is, I know I shook it up, but when you settle it, you can see it lying on the...
You do. Well, it's your bottle, so you activate it how you wish to. So it's incredible, yeah, the way they work.
No, I love it. So thank you. It was wonderful when you came into my life.
Yeah. Thank you. And you too into mine. It's beautiful. And thank you so much for being here. We'll say thank you to everybody for being here and supporting us and enjoying the readings. And Katie will be back very soon. And I will also put up the links, how you can get her cards.
Because if you follow the Modern Oracle on Facebook,
yes,
you can see when I'm doing free readings. I'm supposed to do half an hour, but it goes to an hour because people plead and I can't say no. But this Saturday coming up, I'm
can say no.
4 a.m. Queensland time, and I'll be doing readings then. And also on my Facebook and Instagram page under the Modern Oracle,
yes,
I have daily messages of guidance, and on a Sunday, I put 3 cards and you choose whether you want card 1, 2, or 3. And that's your message of guidance for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to my website, you can play. I've got it virtual readings on there, so you can play and see all the cards as you play. My sister goes in every day, even though she's got the decks, she loves to see it, and she pushes and shuffles the card, and then the card that comes out is her message. Mm-hmm. And you got the option to have 3 cards, so she always asks the question and uses it that way. And she says when she hasn't got a deck with her, that's what she uses. Mm-hmm. But the deck is so light, you can carry it everywhere.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, it's a gorgeous, it feels really good. And I've got small hands, so I just love it. And yeah, so I will put up the link to Katie's page and everything. And I thank you so much for being here, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, beautiful. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone that joined us today.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
My computer's going.
You're still live.
Okay, I'll say bye. I'll talk to you later. Love you.
All right.
Bye.